Are we good? Okay, I think it's good. Yeah. Judith in the Apocrypha, chapter 1. In the 12th year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, who reigned in Nineveh, the great city, in the days of our Faxad, which reigned over the Medes in Ecbatani. Verse 2, and build in Ecbatani walls round about of stones hewn 3 cubits broad and 6 cubits long, and made the height of the wall 70 cubits, and the breadth thereof of 50 cubits, and set the towers thereof upon the gates of it, 100 cubits high, and the breadth thereof in the foundation 60 cubits. Okay, it's the building. Verse 4, and he made the gates thereof, even gates that were raised to the height of 70 cubits, and the breadth of them was 40 cubits, for the going forth of his mighty armies, and for the setting in array of his footmen. So he's building a fortress here. Verse 5, even in those days, King Nebuchadnezzar made war with King Arphaxad in the great plain. So in war, at times we have, battles in the plain, in the open area, which is the plain in the borders of Ragu. Verse 6, and there came unto him all they that dwell in the hill country, and all that dwell by Euphrates and Tigris and Hydra, Pes, and the plain of Arioch, the king of the Elymines, and very many nations of the sons of Chelod assembled themselves to battle. I was gonna. It looked like they were getting ready to battle here.
What's the introduction of Judith?
Look like they're getting ready to battle here. And it says many nations. I'm thinking, like on the most side, then bring down the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's when the Most is going to judge these nations.
What is going on here, Lamar?
Well, according to the story, these men didn't want to. They didn't want to bow down to him, so he had to take them over. Nebuchadnezzar dinosaur. They didn't want to bow down, so he had to conquer them, right?
Like I was thinking about how in Joel chapter 3 and 12, because he built himself up and he's gonna fight these nations.
He told him to bow down first, didn't
I mean, what is Judith's stories about? What's
he?
the
Well, the first
what's-
chapter ain't gonna tell you. You gotta keep on reading.
yeah?
Yeah. Just tell you about these people that want to bow down to him. So he had to take over them.
Verse 7. Then Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, sent unto all that dwell in Persia, and to all that dwell westward, and to those that dwell in Sicilia, and Damascus, and Libanus, and Atilibanus, and to all that dwell upon the sea coast. Verse 8. And to those among the nations that
Hold on. No, go ahead.
and to those that among the nations that were of Carmel and Gilead and the higher Galilee and the great plain of Esdraelon. Verse 9. And to all that were in Samaria and the cities thereof, and beyond Jordan unto Jerusalem, and Bethany, and Celius, and Cades, and the river of Egypt, and Taphanes, and Rameses, and all the land of Gesem. So I think in how the Most High in Joel 3 and 12, it's going to be all nations against, the Most High is going to bring the nations onto the valley of Jehoshaphat. Joel 3 and 12. So let the heathen be, Joel chapter 3, verse 12. He said, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So he's gonna battle these nations here.
Is that what this is about?
No, that's not the valley of Jehoshaphat. This is just King Nebuchadnezzar, gonna fight these nations here.
See, around this region, just like you have Iran, Iraq, you have those people around there. There's always war going around that region for territory, right?
Right.
So as a Faxad built towers around about his city, Nineveh, right? Then you have Nebuchadnezzar now see that as a threat and wanted to fight him to conquer the whole region. So it's about this country trying to defend himself and this country trying to conquer this territory. That country trying to, so it's about expansion, right? So Nebuchadnezzar wanted help from the people of Nineveh, the Median, but they did not answer, right?
Yeah.
So he waged war against them.
Mm-hmm.
So where Judith come in, Judith pretty much trusted in the Most High because in between the fight, we always get caught up in between. Right? Israel always get caught up in between because we always between a rock and a hard place. Since we get taken into captivity into Nineveh,
Yeah.
so we gonna get caught up in the fight even though it's not our fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Judith believed in the Most High so strongly to the point where we overcome the enemies that came against us around that time when they were fighting among themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much the summary of what the story is about. And then everything we're gonna read on is the details of what happened. But
You gotta read the rest of the story to get what you got.
no, you gotta.
I mean, they build themselves up.
You gotta do a prep study of the class before.
Well, what class before?
Prep of the Sabbath. So you get an idea.
What's that?
I mean, you gotta read before the service.
I'm saying you read the rest of these chapters of Judith to get that out of that, or what?
No, it show. I mean, it shows him that he's building up. You know, building himself up.
I said nothing about Judith in this first chapter, though.
Judith.
No, later on.
Right. So you got to read the rest of this book to get the understanding of what's going on here. But at the first chapter, only describes.
You know, the reason why I say that is there's an introduction, right?
Right.
You got to do research on the study to know what it's about, so
Right.
that you can get introduction,
Mhm.
then development. You read the development, then conclusion.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that way, if I start reading Judith, I don't know. I'm lost.
Right.
I have to know. I have an idea of what I'm reading about. What is it about? Then I can read the details. It gives me more a feel for the story that I'm reading.
Okay.
You understand? So that's what I say. I mean, for edification, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Verse 10. Until ye come beyond Tanis and Memphis, and to all the inhabitants of Egypt, until ye come to the borders of Ethiopia. Verse 11. But all the inhabitants of the land made light of the commandment of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians. So they didn't think it's, you know, anything important. Neither went they with him to the battle. So they didn't go with him to the battle.
Right. That's what I meant. He asked for help.
Yeah.
He asked for help. Nobody tried to help him, and he took matter into his own hand. He went and conquered Faxa in battle by himself without any help.
Yeah.
He wanted the people around to help him out, but they didn't help him out.
Right. He was a bad dude. He didn't need those cats to know.
Yeah.
For they were not afraid of him. So they weren't afraid of him. Yeah, he was before them as one man, not like a whole army, but he was in charge of a whole army. And they sent away his ambassadors from them without effect and with disgrace. You know, because the ambassadors go there and speak to the people, you know, speak to the people trying to stir up or maybe pay and, things like that. So they didn't treat them as of anybody of importance and with disgrace. Verse 12. Therefore Nebuchadnezzar was very angry with all this country and swear by his throne and kingdom that he would surely be avenged upon all those coasts of Sicilia, Damascus, and Syria, and that he would slay with the sword all the inhabitants of the land of Moab, and the children of Ammon, and all Judea, and all that were in Egypt, till he come to the borders of the two seas.
Yeah, he's gonna attack you for disrespect.
Yeah.
You disrespect me. I ask you for help. You don't help me. I said, I'm gonna make all you guys pay. I'm gonna, make sure I march on all of you and beat all of you and conquer all of you.
He would kill all the inhabitants. That's a lot of nations, though. I mean, he would kill all the Moabites, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Ammonites, all Judea, all people in Egypt.
You like Hannibal, huh?
Yeah, but he's saying he would do this.
But they didn't want to help him.
Yeah, because they made light of it, Then he marched in battle array with his power against Arphaxad in the 17th year, and he prevailed in his battle. He prevailed, he won. So when they probably hear that he won in a battle, overthrew all the power of Arphaxad and all his horsemen and all his chariots. He destroyed their army, destroyed his army, Arphaxad. Probably didn't think that he was going to do it, but he did it. Verse 14, and became Lord of his cities, and came unto Ecbatani, and took the towers, and spoiled the streets thereof, and turned the beauty thereof into shame. So he overthrew Arphaxad, which he probably wouldn't think he would do it, but he did it without those other people. He wanted to come. He wanted them to come with him. Verse 15. He took also Arphaxad in the mountains of Ragu, and smote him through with his darts, and destroyed him utterly that day. So no military want to know that he's going to be defeated, but Nebuchadnezzar, he defeated him and he killed him with his darts, like with his sword. I mean, with sword or javelin, whatever. It says darts, Yeah. It's interesting about, Sennacherib, he conquered, our nations and so on and so forth. And the angel ended up, destroying all his army. Verse 16, so he returned afterward to Nineveh, both he and all his company of sundry nations, being a very great multitude of men of war, and there he took his ease and banqueted, both he and his army, 120 days.
Where you at when Judith young?
The last verse, man.
I know, I see it. Just want to make sure.
So, so even when they come to, like, taking over our people, and as later on, he said how they were using the vessels of the Most High and drinking out of it like common stuff. And then they saw the handwriting on the wall. So here he took his ease because he won the war, the battle, and he just enjoying himself. as the with Daniel chapter 5. What was his Belshazzar? Yeah, Belshazzar. This is Daniel chapter 5. I just want to read Daniel chapter 5. Daniel chapter 5, verse 1. Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the thousands. Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines might drink therein. Verse 3. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes, his wives and his concubine drank in them. So this Nebuchadnezzar, until later on, what they have done, and read later on in the chapter. So eventually these kings would have done this conquering, the most when they start to touch our people and start taking using our holy vessel for common drinking vessel, the most that's going to bring them down.
What verse you on?
The last verse.
Right.
Last verse of what?
Last verse in Judith.
He talk about his son, Belshazzar, and his father was Nebuchadnezzar. Eventually, most I bring them down.
Okay. So you read the last verse in Judith chapter 1?
Yeah.
Man, that was quick. You brought through that thing quick.
He went through it.
Like an avalanche.
That was chapter, last Judith, chapter 1.
Yeah. So eventually, like I said, the nations, conquer other nations, and
Right. I mean, it's the things happen, and in the past was always happening, just like we see America going and enlarge its borders, going to different places, establish their base So it was the same exact thing. One was trying to preserve their country, and another one was trying to conquer their country.
Right.
So it's like, okay, after we fight this country, who else can we fight? So we're looking for allies. If they don't want to support us as allies, then we're gonna make sure we go after them now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And around the West region where they were going, eventually, if they're gonna go to conquer the other countries, they will get to Judea. They will get to Judea. So they will get to where we live. So it's either we bow down, we let them conquer us like easy,
Get down and lay down.
or we fight. But
Get
you know,
down, lay.
Israel don't
Lay.
like to
When you
just
get
give
down
up
and
like
lay
that.
down?
Yeah, we will fight. So that's pretty much what happened. We are afraid, but we'll fight.
It was get down and lay down.
Right. So, I mean, as we read on in the chapters, we're gonna find out what happened. Because some country just give up. They throw their hands. They say, "All right, cool, you got us. Just we're not gonna fight." But our people, they're not gonna give up like that. So they'll fight. So some of us will sell out. Some of us will want to fight.
Right.
Because we will always live in our own, on our own, and doing our own custom. And we know if we get taken over by another country, we're gonna be forced to follow their way.
Follow their way.
So that's why we always, try to hold our ground.
Right.
So that's where Judith come in. Through Judith, belief and determination. As we read on, we're gonna find out we're gonna be, the Most High gonna preserve us. All it takes is you believe in the Most High, and you have faith in the Most High. It could be 100 to 1. There's a possibility. I mean, you might win. So that's where she come in.
Okay.
Like I read, let me.
You going to another chapter?
No, I just want to read something in Judith. I just want to read Judith 11 and 10.
The moral of before you read that, the moral of the whole story is believe in faith is bigger than an army of thousands and thousands and thousands. Through determination and belief and faith, you can accomplish impossible. Right?
Right.
That's pretty much Judith right there.
So Judith, chapter 11 and 10, it says, Therefore, O Lord and Governor, respect not his word, but lay it up in thine heart, for it is true. For our nation shall not be punished, neither can sword prevail against them, except they sin against their God. That's in Judah right there. Unless we sin against the Most High.
Explain that, y'all.
Unless we sin against the Most High, these other nations can't take us down. Because when we read Deuteronomy 28, right? Deuteronomy 28, from 1, in the first part of it. In the first part of it, the Most High, we're going to keep the Most High's law. He's going to bless us, right? And verse 15, Deuteronomy 28:15. Yeah, read up at top. Deuteronomy 28:15.
Deuteronomy 28:15.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 28:15 said, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all commandments,
All his commandments.
all his commandments, and command thee this
No,
day,
and
command thee this day,
his statute.
and all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee."
Yes, so if we're not hearkening to the Most High's law, statute, and commandment, and keep his law, statute, and commandments, then all these curses are going to come upon us. And we are from all the way back from 16 going all the way back to 28. We're in curses right now.
Yeah, we're in it now.
Yeah, because we didn't hearken unto the Most High.
So we didn't obey.
Right. And
All the way to 68.
right.
So it's like this, anything could happen.
Right. Yeah, anything can happen. And it's not like the Most High hiding somewhere and putting stuff on. The consequence is already set in stone. That's what's going to happen if we do this, if you do that. Right? If you do good, sin, you know, if you do good, you shall be rewarded. Right? If you do bad, if you do sin, death lieth at the door.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the condition of the life that the Most High give us. That's the condition.
Mm-hmm.
You do good, you get this. You do bad, you get this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So sometimes some of us might get into the mindset that the Most High is hiding somewhere and putting stuff on us. No, it's already set.
Mm-hmm.
The consequences of sin is already set. The repercussion of sin is already set.
It's already here.
It's already there.
So anything that happens to you, I mean, even if you're working on try yourself, get yourself together, but it's the way you try to handle it. You know? Some things happen. You know what I mean? It's the unexplainable and you can't understand it. But it's the way you try to handle it, you know. It's the way you try to handle it.
Right. And it's that simple. Do this, you get that. You do that, you get this. Because the Most High is not hiding somewhere, keep putting new curses on you, new stuff. That's why the Most High says he create the end from the beginning. So everything that will happen based on laws that he set up.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna read something.
Isaiah 46:10. Go to Isaiah 46:10.
Isaiah 46:10.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah 46:10 reads, got it? Isaiah 46:10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasures. So from the beginning, you already said everything in this song. Yeah. Moses is not sitting somewhere and then put a remote control and then, press the button every time you do something. It is watching you. No. What we do gonna follow what we do, the consequence is gonna follow. If it's good, we're gonna get good, right? If we do bad, we're gonna get bad.
You're gonna chase you.
Right. The laws that the Most High set up already comes prepackaged, right? With consequences and reward.
Right.
And Isaiah 42 and 22.
Isaiah 42 and 22.
Correct.
42.
I believe so. Yep. Now I'll read 24.
Isaiah 42.
42, 24.
42, 24. I got it.
It says, who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? We are people that is robbed, right? Right? People take what we got, right? So that's a question. Who gave us to the robbers? Did not the Lord? He against whom we have sinned, for they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his laws. So anything that's happening to us that are bad is because the Most High, through the law that he set up and rewarding consequences, we got taken over by them. But it's the Most High that set it up that way. It's not because those guys, they got so much powers. You know, they so big, they so strong. They came in and put us in cargo slave ships and bring us over here. It's because the Most High allowed it to happen. Right?
It's already set up.
It's already set up. They're allowed to happen based on his laws, based on what he told us that would happen. And that's exactly what happened. So then the story go on to everything, even unto today. You do good, you get good. You do bad, you get bad.
Yeah, because even in this captivity, it took 3 nations to bring us down. So-called Arabs, the Africans, and the so-called whites. 3 nations, and it took us down.
So it's cause and effect, but it's always more evident. The effect is always more evident than the cause, right? We always forget the cause of why we go. Why Mosai? Why am I going through this thing? But forget that what we did. We're quick to forget what we did. We always see the pain that we're going through in the moment, but we forget what we did. Why Mosai? Why am I going through this? Why?
Like you said, it's already set up to follow you, the good and the evil.
Like,
and some things happen in a way, some things be like a test, like, you know, see how you handle it, you know. And somebody might do something to you. Not to hurt you, but let you, you know, that was the one that did it.
no, but the thing is that, I mean, these nations are doing things, right? But we as a nation, we're not supposed to be doing that, doing what they do. You know, like it says, Proverbs 12 and 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. So these nations, especially Esau, doing all kind of wicked stuff, but he seduced. Seeing like pork, the other white meat, and all these nations eating all kind of abomination. They eating it because they lack the knowledge. Because we're supposed to have the law, statute, command of the Most High and keeping it. But when a lot of us see this other nation doing all kind of wickedness, all kind of stuff, some of us start to do.
Bow down to it.
You know, be seduced by it.
Bow down to it.
Not really bow down, but do it.
Oh, do it.
Bow down to their idols, bow down to their gods and stuff, and doing all kind of wicked stuff that they do.
Right. In another word, you get tricked. You get tricked. Seduction is more like a trick.
Okay.
You have ever been seduced by a woman? Right? When they, the way they come in and talk to you, the way they dress, right? They find out what you like, and then they pretend to behave the way you like, right? You say, oh man, that's the one that I've been looking for all the time.
Look at Samson, right?
Would be a trap.
Right, because now she learned your ways, right? And then she pretty much be the person that you always want to be, right?
Right.
But when you actually fall for it, then later on, she said, nah, that's not me, man. You know, I was just, you know, I just wanted to get you. Right? Then you start finding the true color. That's how we got seduced by the so-called white man. Show you everything good on the outside. You always want to be famous, huh? You want to be like me? Here's how you do it. But by the time you find out how you got there, it's all not according to the law of the Most High.
Right.
But you're already in. Right? So that's how we get seduced. We more excellent, but we being seduced. We get tricked. We let ourselves get tricked.
Yeah, just like in let me find it.
The same as in vice versa. Sometimes you seduce a woman too. You dress the way you think that she would like, right? You put the perfume you think she would like. You dress very nice, and you talk the talk that she wants to hear. But later on, you just you're not genuine, right? You was just doing that just to get her attention, right? So the same way we get seduced by the so-called nations. I mean the other nations.
Cause we see them doing it, and like, oh wow, they eating that, doing that, all that stuff, and we start to do it also. And we're more righteous than these other nations. We're not supposed to be doing that stuff. All right, so that's it for the Sabbath service. And today at sundown is the Feast of First Fruits, Pentecost. And like I said, for the Pentecost, Deuteronomy 16:16, it says, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. So we're in the feast of weeks, Pentecost, feast of first fruits. All right, so all males appear. All right, stay tuned for the closing prayers.
What's the next week?
And it's in here. Numbers? No. Wait, hold on. Numbers 33, 34. We did Tobit 14 and Judith 1, so Numbers 33, 34. That's what I see here according to the sheet. Numbers 33, 34. Stay tuned for the closing prayers. Nathan.
Numbers.
Was it numbers next week? 33 and 34.
Yeah. Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Asherah, Natanalawa, Paria, Hagapan, Tuwada, Aman, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, At Yasha'Allah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, that give to us the fruit of the vine. Thank you, so be it, to Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, with Israel. I Madwa, Panya, Jerusalem, stand and face Jerusalem. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Babakashai, Shammai, Lanawa, Aita, Yamyan, Aita, Shalak, Ma'aka'ala, Wa'atazawata, La, Shemar'ayel, Barak, Rapah, Makan, Wa'akazayak, Banya, Yasha'ala, Washalak, Lanawa, Rabiam, Kakama, Rabiam, Ta'ai, Rabiam, Bayana, Rabiam, Sabalamwat, Rabiam, Amawan, Rabiam, Aqua, Rabiam, Ahabiam, Rabiam, Haganah, Rakanaya, Wasalak, Kal, Katayimnawa, Larakiam, Weasha'ala, Tumyad, Wabalam, Ba'asham, Yahawashai, Tawada, Aman. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please listen to us now, right now. Send Michael and the righteous power angel to watch over, bless, heal, protect, and make strong the children of Israel, and sent to us much wisdom, much knowledge, much understanding, much patience, much faith, much brotherhood, much love, much spiritual protection, and forgive all our sins for the brothers and Israel, always and forever, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it. Four corner prayers. Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Nawa, Wea Sha'ala, Wabatis Aparim, Shaman, Yasharala, Yahweh, Alahainawa, Yahweh, Akkad. All right, Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.
See you at Feast of First Fruits. Enjoy the rest of the Sabbath.